Hello, within the next 10 minutes we will discuss the most important business events taking place from April 15 to 18. This is Events Around the Corner on Kazakh TV. The list of the countries approved as founding members of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank will be released on April 15. The 11th International Risk Management Conference will take place in Almaty on April 16. The Green Bridge Forum 2015 will be over in Jurmala on the 18th. Let's talk about this news. The full list of the founding members of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank will be released on April 15. As of the evening of March 31, which was a deadline for applications, 46 countries have signed up for founding membership. The bank was inaugurated in China in October 2014. More than 20 countries of the region, including Kazakhstan, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding on the establishment of the bank alongside China. The registered capital of the new financial institution will be $100 billion, 50 of which have been contributed by China. At the same time, China pointed out that it's not striving to a 50% ownership of the bank. Economists know that AIIB's rivals are the World Bank, International Monetary Fund and Asian Development Bank. Although these institutions operate within the frameworks of the United Nations, they are believed to be dominated by the US, Western Europe and Japan. Therefore, the opportunities they offer to developing economies are very limited. Analysts are certain that the newly established bank is China's attempt at increasing the influence on the international economic situation and changing the global financial order. The Financial Times publication stated that AIIB would become a central force determining Asia's economic and trade regulations for decades to come. The third chief negotiators meeting was held in Almaty in March 2015. Delegates from 21 countries attended the event. The participants discussed main issues related to the establishing of the Asian Infrastructure Development Bank. They also confirmed that the main objectives of the bank are the facilitation of economic development, creation of well-being, and improvement of the Asian infrastructure. The bank will finance social and economic projects in the spheres such as power, transport, logistics, urban and rural infrastructure, Kazakhstan's National Economy Minister Jurmala said. The 11th International Risk Management Conference will begin in Almaty on Thursday, April 16. It has been held since 2004 and become an important meeting place for professionals from the financial, commercial and industrial sectors of Central and Eastern Europe. The key problems and outlook for development of risk management in Kazakhstan, CIS and beyond will be discussed at the event. Risk management is an important component of business. Corresponding procedures and actions help find, assess and eliminate risks before there is a serious problem. It is essential to review risks as soon as possible and take a decision on counteractions. The actions that may lower the possibility of a negative event or reduce its consequences with minimum resources should be chosen. The International Risk Management Conference has become popular during the past decade, thanks to famous speakers who were invited to participate, such as internationally renowned economist Nouriel Roubini, Director of Standard & Poor's David Laxton, and Patrick Kenny, ex-president of the International Insurance Society. The 3D print conference will open in Almaty on the same day. The first conference was successfully held last year, making the public realize the importance of the 3D printing technology and prospects for its use. The history of 3D printing began in 1984 when Charles W. Hull created the stereolithography or SLA technology. 2 years later, he patented it as a method, an apparatus for making solid objects by successively printing thin layers of an ultraviolet curable material, one on top of the other. The 3D Systems company he founded in 1986 is currently a leading manufacturer of 3D printers and accompanying materials. The term 3D printing was coined by students of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1995. It was quickly adopted and spread. The first high-quality color 3D printer was released only in 2005. However, since then 3D printing has been developing very fast. In 2008, a self-replicating printer was created. It was capable of replicating half of the components it was comprised of. In 2010, blood vessels and some human organs were printed for the first time in history. The same year, the so-called cornucopia printers were released. These printers can make a ready meal out of food products. In 2012, the first home 3D printer was on sale. In 2014, a 3D printer was sent to the International Space Station. Astronauts were able to make a socket wrench using the device. They received a template of the wrench in an email sent from Earth. Residents of the space station said that previously they had to wait for up to 1 month to receive instruments they needed. Today, 3D printing is used in various spheres and is highly competitive and more economical than other existing technologies. The big advantage of 3D printing is a very small amount of waste. In addition, no special skills are required to use a 3D printer. The 3D Print Conference Almaty aims at providing answers to important questions about 3D printing and scanning technologies. Our goal is to make people aware of what the 3D technology is, from personal and professional use to industrial use. We can develop a 3D template in strict conformance with real dimensions and using the professional CAD software. The customer reviews the template, approves it, and we begin printing. Then the customer receives the ready prototype. If they are satisfied with the prototype, they may launch a serial production. This way, the losses and risks are minimized and people are able to see what the end result looks like in a short period of time. The Hebras International Metallurgy and Mining Company will hold a shareholders' meeting on April 17 to discuss the buyback procedure. The company issued a statement that it plans to repurchase more than 120 million ordinary shares of Hebras by way of a tender offer at the price of $3.10 per share. The transaction will be worth around $375 million. As a rule, a buyback is an indicator of the accumulation of excessive amounts of cash in the corporation. The buyback and subsequent cancellation of shares help take advantage of undervaluation. As a result, the intrinsic value of a share increases, and this boosts investors' trust in the corporation and positively impacts the price per share. Let me note that the net losses of Hebras in 2014 were $1.278 billion, which more than doubles the corresponding figure of 2013. Then the company lost around $551 million. In March this year, Hebras sold a structural tubing facility in North America to Japan's Mariucci Oregon Steel Tube. The deal was worth $51 million. In April last year, the Hebras Group signed the contract to sell its Czech steel unit for $89 million. We continue to focus on streamlining our business, concentrating management's efforts on the key assets and deleveraging, Alexander Frolov, Hebras CEO, said in a statement. The Green Bridge Forum 2015, building the bridge to clean technologies between European and Central Asia countries, will end on April 18 in Jurmala, Latvia. The event is held within the framework of Latvia's chairmanship in the European Union. The conference targets the strengthening of the practical cooperation and sharing of expertise in natural resources management and efficient use of energy. The participants will review the progress that has been made and define the next steps that need to be taken. Special attention will be paid to renewable and alternative energy as the forum aims at facilitation of a successful transition to the green economy. In Kazakhstan, the green economy concept has been implemented since 2013. The government has developed a strategy that aims at maintaining public well-being by means of using natural resources effectively. Firstly, it is important to optimize the consumption of non-renewable resources and strengthen the conservation. Subsequent phases envisage the rational use of resources and full nationwide transition to renewable natural resources only. Experts say that the green economy will help Kazakhstan avoid the environmental crisis from which many post-industrial countries are already suffering. This has been our perspective on the coming 4 days. You've watched Events Around the Corner. See you next time on Kazakh TV.